here for another episode of Heart and Hustle Visionaries, Healers, Movers, and Shakers, bringing you all of those beautiful spirits and souls who are making change in the world, who are living the life of their dreams, who are creating change and helping others, guide others, lead others to also create change in their life. I am Paulette Rees-Denis. I am your host, and we are like in our sixth or seventh year of this podcast. And I've just had amazing, amazing people to share with you, which I love. I love people's stories. I love to see uh, women and men, but I work predominantly with women who are stepping into their power, into their divinity, into honoring themselves and being able to bring their gift to the world. And that brings me to today's guest, Natasha. Natasha Ramlall is here with us from Canada, and I'm just meeting her for the first time, so we get to share this experience together. It's so awesome. Anyway, welcome, welcome, Natasha.
Thank you. I'm just sitting here smiling because your energy is just, I mean, I can feel it through the screen. It's just wonderful.
Oh, thank you. I love doing this. I love this with a passion. And I really love, love, love networking and sharing people with people. You know, uh,
Yeah.
we all need different things. We all do similar things, but different things. And you and I do similar things. I'm also a life coach, and you are a coach. And I'm going to let you tell everybody a little bit more about you, but you're a conscious facilitator, embodied integration coach, specializing in the work that heals, evolves, and expands the lives of women.
Yep.
Hallelujah. Me too, but in different ways. But I'm so fascinated by some of the things that you talk about. So first of all, hello, and explain a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, the first thing I'll say is that I was a little intimidated to come on today because I was listening to some of your episodes and like the last one I landed on, I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's a literal rock star and her guests are literal rock stars." You were speaking about, being on stage and the Chili Peppers opening for your guest and all these things. There's
Oh, life is good.
a lot of life, a lot of life and a lot of lived experience and a lot of wisdom that you're carrying. And I'm really grateful to be here.
Thank you.
Um, so in terms of what I'm doing, yeah, the through line with the embodied integration coaching and the facilitation work that I do is really, um, as you laid out, this healing, this orientation toward healing and expansion and evolution of ourselves. Um, and what I've noticed is that there are many, many women in the world who carry a similar patterning and profile as I did, which was, very out of a survival necessity, very high functioning, hyper capable, super on it, the
Mhm.
reliable one. You too, yep. And that is just not a sustainable way to live because we're missing, in order to be in that survival space, we have to be living from the head,
Mhm.
right? Because to
Right.
come into the body requires slowing down, it requires a completely different pace, it requires quiet and presence enough to be able to listen and, connect with your intuition and your spirit and all of the different parts that complete our human experience, right? Um, and so, yeah, this work is really about women coming to that point in their life, whether it is chosen, sort of chosen, like kind of chosen because of the feeling of not being able to continue in the way that they've been going, or it's something that's forced upon them, the ending of a relationship, a career collapse, a health scare, those kinds of things. But either way, it is an invitation to stop and recognize that this life that I'm inhabiting is not a true reflection of the expression that's alive within me.
Mm,
And so we can come back to this work that allows us to start realizing how important that is. And that, from that spark of joy, all these other gifts come in, like
yes.
compassion and purpose and contribution and
Right.
connection and vibrancy, like actually being in the lived experience of our life rather than just kind of performing it and going through the actions of it on autopilot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so really that's the through line. And in terms of how I, offer that through the spaces I hold, I do one-to-one coaching with women that's online, so it's global. And then I do in-person local group facilitation for women in my community. Because I think both of those things offer a different experience of healing and expansion and evolution. But in both cases, really what I'm doing is I'm holding space for us to practice a new way of being.
Nice. I
Yeah, because
love that.
it's really difficult to, we might understand cognitively, I need to think this way or be this way or change this thing about myself, but it's really difficult to actually go into our lives as they are and just completely met like, shift the pattern or like wrestle the familiar things, right? So we need to be able to practice it in a safe container, being witnessed and accepted in
Yes.
those new orientations in order to build the comfort and safety to be able to do it in our lives.
There's a phrase that I've always liked to use. I don't have the exact wordage right, but it's like you don't have a personality until you've spoken out loud.
Mm.
Because we all want to be heard, right? We
Hmm.
all want to be seen. And I think that's so important, especially for women as we gather together, like we don't have to be alone. We need connection. We need to be in circle. We need to be honoring ourselves and each other,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And one thing that I love, and I want to ask so much about what you do because you incorporate a lot of dance. Now, I'm a dancer.
yeah,
I've been teaching dance all my life.
yeah,
Um, Movement is like, yeah, the most important thing, right? Or
yeah.
maybe almost the most important thing. But so tell me about your embodiment of dance.
Yeah, I love talking about this. Dance was one of those things that as a young child, that was my joy. Like
Mhm.
from a very young age, if I had any time to do anything, that was my thing to do. I would turn on music, I would dance, I would flow around the space, I would choreograph, dances, I would perform them for my family, and I just loved it so much. And because of that love, of course, my mother put me in dance lessons, and I studied dance for, just over 12 years, but it never felt exactly like a right fit for me.
Sure. Uh-huh.
And I think, so eventually for my own mental health and for my own self-esteem, I, stepped away from the training and I just sort of engaged with dance in the regular ways that we do, going to the bars, going to the clubs, going to festivals, listening to live music, that kind of thing. And when I came back around to it, as an older woman, I realized that it was the performance aspect of the dance that never really landed for me.
Hmm.
And I love watching professional, highly trained dancers. There's nothing
Oh,
that
I
I enjoy
know.
more.
So
Like it,
exciting.
oh, if you checked out my social media feed, it's like all dancers.
Nice.
Because I mean, I love it and I have so much admiration for it as an art form. But for me, it was more about that primal human expression and that kind of connection with the music and my own intuitive
Mhm.
desire to move. And yeah, the trained dance that I went through at the time when I was coming up, I think there's a lot more space for that now. But back then, um, I just never felt of that world. And coming back to it, really fully embraced the part of dance that is, not about performing for others. It's not about the choreography, and it's not about even the fitness aspect of it. I've enjoyed a few Zumba classes in my time as well, but and it's not to say there's anything wrong with using dance for any of those things either, but it was just that the value of dance from coming at it from a place of reconnecting with your body, reconnecting with your
Yeah.
intuition, reconnecting with that feminine energy that helps you flow from a really embodied place. That was just not something that had much attention. Um, in the spaces that I was in. So coming into that and then being able to create something that really resonated for women who were having trouble making you know, getting out of their heads and being able to inhabit their bodies. And it's just been like, I mean, it's my favorite thing. It's my absolute favorite thing.
I'm so excited to hear you say that because I talk
Yeah.
about that all the time. I teach, I train dancers, I train teachers, I train master teachers. And so many times, I mean, so I don't know if you're familiar with the dance that I do, but it's tribal belly dance, it's global caravan. And when you see a performance, it's intoxicating. It's like, "Oh, I want that," because there's this beautiful, deep connection, but they're also entertainers and they've
Mhm.
been trained, or most of them have been trained to perform. And so when dancers see that, they're like, I want to do that. I want to be on stage. And it's like,
Mhm.
you've got to find the joy in the dance,
Right.
the joy in your body before you can put it on stage, before you can share it as a gift to someone else.
Right. Right.
And that's when it becomes this magical entity, right? When you see that performance on stage and you're like, oh my God. But that's a different
Absolutely.
thing. It's a totally different thing. So dancing for yourself, dancing for joy, dancing to be in your body. And, so many times I know I'm blathering on here, but I'll never forget women coming into my dance classes and looking in the mirror and going, I can't look at myself, or
Yeah.
I've never looked at myself. It's like, well, this is about you being here, being in your body, being present.
Right.
Okay.
There's so much. There's so much there. I had a woman who came in at the beginning of the program. So typically, we're going for several weeks, rather than doing like the drop-in format because we're creating a real level of trust with the women that kind of
Mhm.
can commit to that container for that season.
Sure.
And we're able to go deeper because of that. And you had a woman who came in at the start and same thing, could not look at herself in the mirror, would always dance on the side of the room where there was no mirror.
Mhm.
And by the end of the series, she deliberately positioned herself in front of the mirror and watched herself dance. So she'd had this complete cracking open
Mhm.
of her ability to accept herself in her authentic movement. It was so beautiful and
And,
so
and
inspiring.
find herself as beautiful,
Yeah,
in
exactly.
whatever body, whatever shape, whatever size, whatever age. Um,
Yeah.
and I think the way you bring dance to it is like that too. Um, so okay, that's fantastic. Just mm, I love you.
Yeah, I'm thinking like I gotta make some travel plans and come and attend one of your classes as well, because I can only imagine how amazing it would be. But another thing that was coming up as we were talking about it was I've also had a lot of women who have their experience of dance has been very sexualized because it was in spaces where dance was kind of more of a a ritualistic, it was for the male gaze,
Mm.
more so. And there are often, alcohol and drugs involved and different ways to sort of get that courage and confidence to be able to dance. And so being able to break those associations has been a really, really
Ooh,
impactful shift
that
as
is
well.
huge. We could have a whole conversation about that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go there right now, but
Okay.
oh, I would love to talk to you about that. But it's so true. I mean, so many times, belly dancing, there's this stigma of belly dancing, and people imagine that a scenario that is completely unlike everything I do. And it's like, oh, do you dance for your husband? And it's like, no, I dance for myself, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
And so yes, that's a whole nother ball game right there. I dance to feel good. I dance to feel sexy. I dance to feel sensual. I dance to feel powerful. I dance to feel embodied, right? I mean, why do
Yeah.
you dance, right? Why do you dance?
Yeah. Exactly.
So you throw out some words to me. Why do you dance?
Oh, why do I dance? All of the same things that you were saying. Um, I also dance to listen.
Mhm.
I dance to feel connected. I dance to you know, find that place in me that isn't bracing, that isn't hyper vigilant
Mm.
and always like, assessing, but the part of me that can actually let go and release. Because I have a lot of heart. Well, I am much better at it now, but part of my life journey and my unfolding has been really learning how to not be so, you know, holding so tightly and gripping so tightly. So dance has been one place where, as I said, from a very young age, that was my way of being completely expressed.
Hmm.
And then I put a box around it and I said, oh, in order to be a dancer, I need to learn these different things and I need to be placed correctly and I need to have this kind of body and and all the stories came in. And so dance became something different for me. And I didn't realize that that was going on, right? I was just looking back that I'm like, oh, okay, I see what's happened here. Um, yeah. I dance to feel free. I dance to feel joyful. I dance for pleasure.
Hmm.
Um, And yeah, and I dance because I love music. Music is
No.
just,
I know.
yeah,
I can't sit still. If there's music on, it's all over.
yeah.
You can't take me anywhere.
Or we should take you everywhere.
Yeah, well, okay, we can do that too. But yeah, okay, awesome. I love this. This is really important. I talk to my dancers about this kind of stuff all the time. And to have you speak it coming from a different genre of dance is also it's universal,
Mm,
which is great. So okay, I want to shift a little bit. So
sure.
I want you to talk about this identity rupture.
Mm, yeah. So, we kind of we're more familiar with that trope of midlife crisis.
Hmm.
And you know, but I think that this phrase is very deliberate. Identity rupture needs to have that kind of a strength because the process is that moment where you're arriving in your life and recognizing that in order to keep moving forward, you need to release something. Like something's already broken.
Yeah.
And now it's actually recognizing where you're still gripping onto that old thing. And it's a rupture because in order to move forward, we need to make space for something new to be birthed. And for anybody who's been through the process of giving birth, that is a painful process. And so is an identity rupture because it is, releasing all of the different things that we've been using to help us understand who we are, to give us any sort of frame for our identity and our sense of self. And now the story that we've been using to make meaning is no longer intact. So what do we have to hold on to? Our brain wants a story, right? A brain wants a story. And if our brain doesn't have a story, what's it going to do? It's going to start digging into the self-doubt and the
Mm,
patterns and all the, the other stories that we tell about ourselves. So that makes it a very, very painful process. And what people do is, depending on the level of capacity they have, the level of support that they have when these ruptures, transitions happen, they may rush into the next thing to get out of the discomfort as quickly as possible. Um, but my message is that if you have the awareness and you have the capacity, these ruptures are actually this golden opportunity to understand yourself in a deeper way. Because now you are reformulating your identity around something that is from within rather than the external um, anchors that you've been using to validate
mm.
your worth and your existence. But again, it's a really painful process because in that, something is ended. The thing that is beginning is not yet formed. So we don't have a map. We don't know what this is supposed to look like. And that place in the middle is really uncomfortable. It's messy. It's like a void.
Sure, it's scary.
And it's very scary. Yeah. And what I've come to understand is that, as everything in our human experience has a purpose, right? It has some sort of lesson that we can learn. The purpose of that messy middle place is to learn trust.
Hmm.
And I think trust is one of the hardest things for us to do and learn as humans because it's really scary. And, having faith in the unseen, it goes against everything that we've been conditioned to do. Like everything, we're scientific method, evidence-based, use your five senses, got to be logical, linear, it has to make sense, right? So asking yourself to actually trust in something that you can't validate
Hmm.
yet,
Hmm. Hmm.
um, that is difficult. But in that, we completely reorient how we're showing up to our lives and how we understand what it means to be in this life.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So good. So good. And I mean, because we're constantly changing, especially as we've grown older, our values change, or our desires change, our dreams change. And, it's kind of like the tower card in the tarot. I don't know if you follow the tarot, but um, that you have to have destruction before you can have growth. You have to clean out to have space for the new desires, and trusting yourself, trusting in your intuition. If you clear out the junk, you can listen in deeper.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's good stuff. You're my sister.
Yes, I feel it. I feel it too, sister.
So I want to know, okay, now we're going to shift again. We could talk
Okay.
for a long time, I think, but I want to know what you do for yourself. So I love talking
Mm,
about self-care. I think it's really important, especially as we get older. How do our self-care habits change? What do we
mm,
do for ourselves to get reconnected or stay connected or feel healthy or, feel creative, whatever?
yeah. So, I've got my baselines, water, sleep, fresh air, nature,
Okay.
laughter, connections.
Oh,
Those
laughter
are
is a good
very important. Yeah. And because they're a baseline, I'm a lot more aware of when I'm out of balance with those things. Like if I, have not been taking care of myself in those areas, I notice a lot faster because I have, kind of decided this is my baseline for feeling okay. But beyond that, it's this constant, recentering. It's this constant coming back to a place of balance between all the different parts, right? Like the old stuff that I am, understanding more deeply, the new stuff that I'm moving toward. Like I'll give you a small example that just kind of came into my awareness recently. So I love podcasts, especially conversational podcasts, because I love the long form. I love where we can go and like get into the juicy, chewy stuff. And in some ways, the podcast conversations I listen to are conversations I wish I could be having more regularly in my life,
Mm.
with
Who
the
are- like
people in my
who?
life.
Who's your favorite podcast?
Oh, I have so many.
Yeah, me too.
But honestly, like, it's not even it's just those magical moments where people are really connecting on something real. You know, I I love the process of it. But what I've been noticing, and I mentioned before that I really love music as well. And what I've been noticing is that when I have an opportunity to, put my headphones on and listen to something, maybe I'm cleaning the house or I'm waiting for something, or um, lately I noticed that I was choosing to listen to podcasts rather than listen to music.
Mm.
And that was a little odd because it was a bit out of balance. And what I recognized is that when I listen to podcasts, I love it. It's very stimulating, but I'm in my head, right?
Mm.
Because I'm talking,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? Like
Mhm.
it's story, it's understanding things, it's meaning making, it's making
And
those
you and
connections.
you have to listen.
You have to listen, exactly. And it's language. So by the very nature of the podcast, it's going to be up in my head that and when I listen to music,
Mm.
it's often very
It's all
emotional.
over. I know.
It's all over, but it's also it's very emotional for me. So I have emotional reactions. And I recognized that I was, uh, out of my conscious awareness, I was avoiding listening to music because I was avoiding wanting to feel. And I put music on deliberately. It was like, I haven't been listening to music. This is crazy. Let me put a playlist on of music instead of listening to a podcast today. And I ended up just tearing up and like really going to an emotional place.
Hmm.
And so it was a really good, it was kind of an eye-opening experience. I was like, okay, like there's a part of me deep inside that recognizes that if I'm carrying something, that music is going to take me to that place. And if I'm not feeling, ready to look at that, or like I have the capacity for it, or it's the right moment for that, I am choosing to listen to a podcast where I can be up in my head and not, letting myself tap into that emotional body. Um, so that being open to self-understanding, I
Hmm.
think is a really, really big part of my self-care.
Hmm. Oh, that's so good. I totally understand what you're saying because there's times when I want to listen to podcasts because I want some inspiration. I want some things to help me question or learn
Yeah.
or expand or whatever.
Yeah.
And then music. I mean, I'm dancing around the house all day long,
Yeah.
especially when I cook.
Yeah.
So I totally get what you're saying, and that makes so much sense to me. Yeah, it's really good. And we need both.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know, I
absolutely.
will never want to stop listening to people's stories. I will never want to stop learning and expanding and learning how people do things. And I
Hmm.
think I'm curious. I'm
Yeah.
fascinated. You
Yeah.
know, it doesn't mean I need to adopt it for myself, but I'm just like, wow, you do that. That's so cool, and look at you go, or whatever, or
Yeah.
oh, I need to try that, whatever.
Yeah.
I do get
Well,
seduced easy, but
yeah, but the connection piece is so alive right now, right? Like we've been living in a world that is because of, the screens and the social media and the phones, and that is making it so much easier to be disconnected, to be on your own and kind
Oh
of,
man, that's so true.
and so that, any of these different ways that we can come together and recognize our shared humanity in each other with these conversations. Like we just met, but I feel like, I love you already. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that doesn't have to be such an impossible place to reach, right? Like open hearts, curiosity,
Mhm.
a willingness to suspend our judgment
Right.
over,
Yes.
like to be curious and to understand that, yeah, we're all doing life, maybe slightly differently, but all with the same wants and needs at the heart of it, right?
Yeah, not judgment. I mean, that's a big word there. Non-judgment. Um, Acceptance, allowance. Curiosity is one of my favorite words. I love that word. And to be a possibilitarian. That's
I
my
love that.
that's my other favorite word.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Because there's just so much out there. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what's next for you?
You know what? I am sort of in a season where I've recognized that I've been doing embodiment work s- and really focusing on sort of the healing aspects of guilt and shame and fear and sadness and doing this deeper work. And because I've been, building a relationship with that side of the spectrum of emotions, I haven't been leaning enough into pleasure and joy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And so we're about, the summer's upon us, and I really just want to, make that my guiding star for the summer season. I just want to
Oh,
feel it as much as I can and slow it down. And so, I have my in-person things on the go for the summer. I have my coaching clients, and other than that, I'm just going to sort of relax and, release expectations for a little bit. Get out of that pushing, doing energy,
yeah.
and
Release the
just yeah,
masculine, embrace the feminine,
yeah, yeah,
honor
yeah.
your
So.
divinity, and wallow in that beautifulness.
Yeah,
That's
and it's a
right
great
there.
season for it because, the summer you're outside, you're in the elements a little bit more. Because I'm in Ontario, so our winters are a bit harsh. We can be outside, but it's a bit harsher. But in the summer, everybody comes out to play. We've got the
Yeah.
music festivals, we've got, all kinds of things happening outside. And yeah, it's just a really, really beautiful time to be in community. So it's the perfect time for me to be leaning into, okay, let's slow down. Let's like just enjoy that subtle intoxicating smell of lilac floating past my nose right now, and just let me just be here with that gorgeous smell for a minute,
Mhm.
and just a little bit more of that, like really letting myself be embodied in a way that makes every single day feel a little bit more vibrant and a little bit more full.
Sweet. That's beautiful. I love that so much. I'm trying to get a quick map of Canada. So where is Ontario? Is it middle?
Ontario's central, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to be in Ohio all summer. And I
Yeah.
isn't Ontario right above that?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
We'll be neighbors.
we'll be close by for sure.
Just saying. You need a trip? Anyway, okay. So that was fantastic, Natasha. Thank you. And I just love to hear what you're doing and bringing to the world, and stepping into uh your zone of genius, the stuff that rocks your boat, that helps others learn how to rock their boat,
Right.
and step into the beauty and the power and the femininity and the divinity, and release all the crap, just release the crap. But easier said than done. But uh just keep bringing your beauty to the world. It's so important and so necessary.
Mm,
Yeah,
thank you.
so
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah, so beautiful. And all of you out in Heart and Hustle Land, you'll get her contact information and what she's doing so you can connect with her. And you can connect with me if you haven't been connected with me. Paula Rees-Denis here, signing off. Heart and Hustle with Natasha Ramlall from Canada. And love seeing you again. So glad you're spending time with us. Until we meet again, blessed be. Many blessings. I love you. Okay, bye.